Hi, my name is Stacy. I am an elementary school teacher from Queens, New York, and I teach science, STEM, and computer science for grades pre-K through 5. So originally, when I went into Lynda, I was looking at things that I have used but wasn't too familiar with, one of which is Kahoot, which the students absolutely love for test review.
Welcome to Teacher Tech Tips. I'm Oliver Shinkton. It's a wonderful feeling to see your students having fun while engaged in learning the content.
So basically, they do have a lot of fun. You can make your own quiz, or you can use one of the ready-made quizzes that other people have uploaded and break the students into teams or have a one-to-one setting for them to do the review or the lesson that you choose. Then I was looking at other ways for the students to create presentations based on what they learn or their project-based learning projects at the end of the year. So I came up with Prezi, which I kind of know, but I'm not 100% familiar with.
Hello and welcome. I'm Garrick Chow. If you're a Prezi user and you're looking for some tips and tricks to help you get to the level of power user, this course is for you. We'll begin with some suggestions for the planning stage of your Prezis and talk about the concept of mind mapping and planning for the end goal of your presentation.
So I thought this would be very useful for the students. The younger ones could just have a few small bubbles. The older ones would be able to put many more bubbles and run it as a very colorful presentation with some links. From Prezi, I then found Arduino, which I have always wanted to learn, especially with the Raspberry Pi for computer science. I thought it was very interesting and I'm looking to integrate it.
Hi, I'm Peggy Fisher and welcome to Up and Running with Arduino. Arduino is an open source microcontroller that makes interacting with objects and environments easy. Microcontrollers are everywhere, from RC cars to walkie-talkies, even watches.
So I've used Microbit and Makey Makey, which are similar, but many more things seem to run on an Arduino. So I plan on watching this course to introduce it into the classroom. I think it's geared toward the older students. I also found this drag and drop game, which looks very good for the younger students. It was called it's Captivate 9. It doesn't seem to want to load right now. Oh.
Hi, my name is Dr. Pooja Jaisingh. Welcome to this course on how to create drag and drop interactions using Adobe Captivate 8. Drag and drop is one of the most engaging and interesting interactions in e-learning courses. Join me as I take you through a journey of making your courses interactive in a fun way.
So I was very interested in that because drag and drop is the easiest way to have the younger grades come up and work on the smartboard without, they can count as they drag and solve problems that way. It's a good introduction to using a mouse as well. I then went over to a course called Creating a Research Project in the iPad, since they were doing project-based learning and there are many things that they could do in there, design activities, individual learners, small group interaction.
So whenever we start on a new unit or a new project or a new activity, I like to set up the project framework. So I often show a couple of resources and give the class some ideas.
So this course would basically be for the older students so they can see how to put together a research project on an iPad. I have a donor's choose written for a 3D printer. I think it's a fabulous project to do. I've also heard that some schools, they make things with their 3D
Room
printers.
212 is a little bit different than a
and they hold fundraisers and they sell pencil cups and picture frames and things that they make with their 3D printer.
Regular classroom. Students today are extremely tech savvy when it comes to their cell phones, but they're consumers of technology, and I want to have them become creators of technology.
I've actually suggested a couple of friends taking this class. It's kind of cool to be able to think that you actually make that building.
So I have 3D pens, which they're going to be using, but I thought it would be very good for them to use a 3D printer. I actually saw a 3D printer in use at my son's orthodontist, where they took a laser instead of an impression and it printed out on the 3D printer, and he was able to keep his teeth. And then as I also use Class Dojo.
Hello educators, Aaron Quigley here with another teacher tip for you. Right now we're going to take a look at a classroom management system that has drastically changed classrooms across the nation.
Class Dojo, the children can take attendance on the board, they can come up with their own icon, they can give themselves points, take away points when the teacher tells them to, and they can interact with their parents. The teacher can keep in communication with their parent. It's a fabulous app to keep open on an iPad or on a smart board during the day. You can also share announcements and work with the students. So I do use that. I also found Hour of Code.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Teacher Tips. This week is all about Computer Science Education Week. Computer Science Education Week, which is December 9th to the 15th this year, is an opportunity for educators to expose their students to the world of computer science.
When I do Hour of Code at the school, the students can do the Hour of Code during computer science time, during lunchtime, and then we have an evening event where they can come in with their parents and do Hour of Code with them, and then they can both earn certificates and the parents can see what the students are learning. I also found a lot of, through this Teacher Tips course, apps that I never knew about that I think I'm going to watch and share with other teachers, such as Kodu.
A great way to introduce students to the world of programming is through Kodu. Kodu is developed by Microsoft, and it's a programming application that allows students to program digital games.
So I've only made games through code.org. This looks like it could be a lot more fun. We've only made like Flappy Bird and Angry Bird games so far. There's website platforms. There's PictoCharts in education.
Hello educators, this is Aaron Quigley and welcome to another week of Teacher Tips. This week we're going to explore an online infographic creator called PictoChart.
So I think I'm going to implement that with my older students as well. There's so many things through this teacher tips that I plan on watching and sharing, creating lessons, sharing lessons. There's a teacher portal. There's an app for Duolingo.
Hello educators. This week we're taking a look at a great new application called Duolingo. Now even if you're not a language teacher, I highly recommend that you stick out this teacher tip and listen to how this Duolingo app might be beneficial to your students regardless of what subject you teach. Duolingo has a really great system of walking students through the process of learning a new language.
So if you have a high population of ENL, a lot of other things that I have on my playlist are through teacher tips, and they're also through this other course called iPad Apps for Educators. If you are in the classroom or you do work with children, I would definitely go onto Lynda and find those apps and watch them, because there's things there that can definitely be integrated. So I hope some of this helped other educators find apps that maybe they can use throughout this course.